y'all. I know, I'm up here all by myself again. Listen, I'm not sure what's going on. We got a little thing going on for some reason, but um, hey, I'm here for the moment. We're going to have to do a replay today. Technical difficulties, I think. I'm not quite sure, but something's going on. Anyway, I'm going to replay another one for you, and we will be back next month with something. Sorry about this, guys. Wasn't expecting this myself, but hey, here we go. Here's your replay. Y'all enjoy. Thank you. Hello, hello. Here we are again. Another ladies' diary, a beautiful panel of amazing guests, and my co host I couldn't be prouder of. Tonight isn't about perfection, though, okay? This is about the quiet moments where confidence is built. Not on stages, but in decisions, the ones where women step past comfort, past fear, and into the work that they were always meant to do. Purpose doesn't arrive fully formed. It's walked into, one uncomfortable step at a time. And tonight, we're going to open that door. So welcome to the Ladies' Diary. This is a space where we hold on purpose.
Get up here and shut
not
up.
For highlight reels, not for polished versions of ourselves, but for the real journeys women walk when no one's clapping and no one's watching, really. Tonight's conversation, it came from something simple but kind of weighty. Confidence. Not the loud kind, not the kind you perform, the kind that shows up when you're uncomfortable, unsure, and still decide to move away. Because most of the time, purpose doesn't feel bold. It feels inconvenient and risky. It even feels like stepping outside a version of yourself that once felt safe. So many women are carrying callings they just keep postponing. Pardon me. Not because they aren't capable, but because confidence, it gets framed as something you're supposed to have before you begin. And that is a lie. Confidence is built in the doing. It's formed in the moments where you say yes before you feel ready, where you stretch past comfort, where you choose growth over familiarity. That's what tonight is really going to be about. Not empowerment as a buzzword, but empowerment as a lived experience. The kind that earned through action, through mistakes, through showing up imperfectly, and learning along the way. This show has always been about honesty, about letting women speak without filters, without shrinking, and definitely without apologizing for taking up space in their own stories. That's why I love when this particular voice joins me, because like myself, she understands what it means to step into purpose even when it costs comfort. So tonight, as we talk about confidence and walking out what you're called to do, I couldn't imagine having this conversation without her perspective, her clarity, and her heart. Now then, as we open this page of our diary together, please help me welcome my co-host, my sister, Mom Lyons. Hey.
Hello, hello, hello.
There is my sister right there.
What's up, Boss B?
Oh, my blood pressure as usual.
Listen, I think mine's up with yours.
Definitely. And I know I'm probably part to blame for that. And I truly am sorry. I just stuff happens, you know.
No, I do
I
know.
won't apologize too much.
I was racing home from school because everybody knows I'm a middle school teacher, and we had a professional development training. And, you know, I felt like I need to leave early, but it's rude to leave when someone has been training you. So I didn't want to leave. And I just told her, I'm sorry, I gotta go. And I was racing home, you know, same thing. But this is such an important thing, and I've been so excited about it. I've been excited about this because our Ladies Diary panelists tonight are just three amazing women that I've had the pleasure to know for quite some time. And I'm not going to introduce them. They're going to introduce themselves. But when I tell you I adore these women, there's just, you know, and just because I know their stories, I know that tonight's topic is going to be it's going to be, I think, explored at such a great extent with these wonderful women who have so much to share and to offer. So without further ado, I think I don't want to hold it up. Let's get them on. Let's get them on. And let's get started.
Absolutely. You know, tonight's conversation, it can't happen in isolation. So let's absolutely get this going. Okay, ladies, I'll bring you up. Just 1 second. I have to bring you up proper. And all I see is beauty.
There they are.
Hello, ladies.
Hello.
All right.
So
well, let's let everyone know. They know who Boss B is. They know who Mama Lions is. But what they don't know, who's Nancy, Nyla, and Cammie. So Nancy, why don't you start out and tell us who you are?
Hi, my name is Nancy Glasgow. And first of all, I just want to thank you, Boss B and Mama Lions, for having me on the show. But I am first and foremost a child of the King, my Lord and Savior Jesus. And I am passionate about helping those people that deal with anxiety and fear. And I love to help anyone overcome those feelings because I dealt with it my whole life. So I wrote a book on it and how to kick fear in the ass and look sassy doing it. So
there you go.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm loving that.
Thank you. So that's me.
All right. Nyla.
Hi, I'm Nyla Wright. I am the owner of ISIU Organizing. I work with families with children of special needs, elderly community, and anyone who needs help. My focus with my organizing business is people with mental health issues that might be affecting them from being unorganized. I'm also a mother, a grandmother, and I also work at a school as well.
Awesome. That's wonderful.
Absolutely. And Cammie.
Hello. I just have to say, when I was listening to Boss B do the intro, I was like, okay, we're so in alignment. It's awesome. I was like, everything about what you said, I was like, I need to echo that.
All right. That's wonderful.
I have my name's Cammie Povil, and I have two businesses. One is called Change by Design, and that's where I use creative self-expression to help people discover the person that they are and the person that they want to be so that they can design their life with purpose and intention. And then I also am a visual designer. So I'm a brand strategist for solopreneurs like yourselves, and mostly coaches, speakers, authors, that kind of talent where it's kind of behooves them to be solopreneurs. Does it make sense?
Yeah, awesome. And this is where I have to jump in and say that Cammie is my ride or die. Cammie was the one who, when I very first started, she designed everything for me. And this woman she would be like in my head. She knew everything. I mean, I never had to say, nah, she's just amazing. So I have to give a plug because Cammie is the person that got me started. And my branding and everything, she's been with me we've been together for years working together, but she definitely was the one who believed in me, I think, before anybody else. So I'm excited that she's here on the panel. Very good.
That is
Awesome.
I love
All right.
it.
So, boss, what are we tackling tonight?
I'm sorry?
What are we tackling?
We are tackling some heavy business. Not really that heavy, but it will be heavy. It will be light. It will be entertaining. It will be stressful, I'm sure. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Actually, before we do move into the heart of tonight's conversation, I want to take a moment and kind of explain how this part of the Lady's Diary is. Each month, we read a letter from a viewer, and these letters are written by women that, pardon me, my talking points, by women who are navigating real situations, real questions, and real seasons of life. There's no script behind them and no expectation that everything is figured out, just honesty. So we start by reading the letter in full, exactly as it was written. Then we open it up for discussion as a panel. We talk through the themes, the emotions, and the questions it brings up, sharing our perspectives and experiences. We're not here to give perfect answers or tell anyone what to do. The goal is conversation, reflection, and connection. And Mama Lyons does her magic by bringing the lemonade too. So where there is bad, there is good. And she is most definitely qualified to help you find yours. So hey, y'all, she has for me, seriously. So yes, see, I'm gonna start calling you all shucks.
They know me.
Yes, but so do I. This is what I know. So anyway, at the end of the day, this isn't about fixing someone. Okay, it's about creating a space where women can feel seen and heard and less alone, where something said might help someone take their next step forward. Okay, so let's see what we got here for our letter. This is gonna be fun. I tell myself that. Okay. Where did the letter go? I'm sorry. I'm terrible at this today. I'm airheaded because I am in Texas and it is allergy season times 2.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All righty, here. I do have our letter now. Okay. Forgive me. I will try and be as clear as possible. Dear Lady's Diary, I've been thinking a lot about confidence lately. Not the kind people see on social media or hear in motivational speeches, but the quiet kind that shows up when no one is watching. The kind that doesn't announce itself. It asks you to move even when you're scared. I know what I'm capable of. That isn't the problem. The problem is that stepping outside my comfort zone feels like stepping away from the version of myself I relied on to survive. Comfort may not be fulfilling, but it's familiar, and familiarity can feel safer than purpose. There are things I know I'm meant to do, paths I keep circling, ideas I revisit over and over again, and every time I get close to acting on them, I hesitate. Not because I don't want them, but because I'm afraid of what it will cost to become the woman who walks them out. I realize that confidence isn't something I'm waiting to receive. It's something I'm avoiding building, because building it means risking failure, risking judgment, and risking change. It means letting go of excuses that once protected me, and it means choosing growth over comfort. And that choice feels heavier than I expected. I wonder how many women are standing where I am right now, fully aware of their calling, but unsure how to trust themselves enough to answer it. How many of us delay our purpose not because we doubt the vision, but because we doubt our readiness to carry it? I don't need to be told I'm powerful. I need to learn how to believe it when things get uncomfortable. And I need to know how to take the first step without waiting for confidence to magically appear. I want to understand how to move forward even when fear is still present. So my questions are simple but not easy. How do you step into purpose when comfort is the only thing you've ever known? And how do you build confidence when the very act of trying feels like exposure? I'm ready to walk it out. I think maybe I'm just not sure which foot to start on. Signed, Two Fearful Feet.
Mm,
No, that's cute.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's start with who relates to that, first of all.
Mhm.
Raise your hand if you relate.
Wow.
We got this one down.
Yes.
Right? Like, hello?
Right.
There you go. I picked a good
Yeah.
letter.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So I want to say to Fearful Feet, yeah, I think we've all been there, or we're there, or we're along the road, on the path. I almost feel like we're all on the road, but we're just at different places, different mileposts,
Mhm.
right? I don't
Yes.
know. This is such a warm topic for me because I definitely think that this is where most of us, especially on the entrepreneurial journey,
Mhm.
we are always there. So, but anyway, I want to hear from some of you guys. Anyone else want to check in on this one? Yes.
So, I think like that journey, and when you keep feeling your purpose and you keep trying to ignore it, I think it's good that she wrote the letter and to realize she's not the only one that experiences this. But I think for me, what helped me is having accountability partners, people that were in that doing that same journey, that we supported each other. And I feel like when I partner up with some of my friends that's entrepreneurs, I'm like on fire, like, oh my God, I can do this. It really helps. We, tend to fall off because life happens, but it's just having someone else that's understanding where we are, how we feel, and how that drive keeps going. And it's like, starting out, you don't understand it. It's like, am I crazy that, I want to do all these things? And some of your friends don't understand that. And so, like I said, for me, that accountability, having someone like-minded has always helped.
Mm, that's
Very
good stuff.
good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Accountability. Yeah. What
Yes.
else? What else do we have? That's a good one.
Absolutely. For me, I can say that I dealt with fear my whole life
Mhm.
and from out of the womb. And so it took me a very long process to walk through that. And until you confront it, that's the number one step. And I think that's what this young lady did, is she at least acknowledged it. And I think once you acknowledge something, then you can start working on it. So big kudos for her acknowledging it. And now she just needs to start walking it one step at a time. And for me, that took a very long time. It was a very long process. It was over 40 years that I walked it and came into my purpose after that. So I would just encourage, don't give up.
Mhm.
Don't give up because you don't grow weary in well doing, because
Mm.
it doesn't always come as quickly as
Yeah.
we want it to. And timing is everything, right?
Mhm.
We
Yes.
have to step into our purpose in the right time. And yes, we all have a purpose. And so I
Mhm.
think,
Yeah.
acknowledging,
Good.
stepping into it a little by little, and just moving
Mhm.
forward. is, you may have setbacks. You might take a step forward and have 2 steps back. But I think if you continue, you just, do it afraid, was a lot of the time I had to speak to myself, is to do it afraid.
Yeah.
And so just encouragement and having that accountability partner, like you said, Nyla, is very yes, because it's a great person to help boost you when you're not feeling like you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
We need those. We need those people around us. Very, very important. Yes.
Community is everything, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, it is. It is everything. I know. Cammie and I, when we started working together a long time ago, we would just meet up at the coffee shop and talk. And we realized we'd have a mission. Like, she was helping me and consulting me with my business, but we would just talk. And the more we talked and we built, our relationship up, it was so much easier to be creative and to do things. But Cammie, I'll let you talk about that, what your perspective is on that. But
yeah, I kind of, I'm in my head going, so talk about confidence and doubt and stuff. I'm in my head going, I don't want them to think I'm pitching my stuff. my practice, and I'm going to emphasize and underscore practice over and over and over, because my practice is creativity to uncover and reveal what's already inside you. So yes, you know your purpose, but what's getting in the way of the purpose is often hidden way deep down in our subconscious. And so if you do something creative, and that's any kind of thing, it doesn't have to be art. My practice just happens to be art and journaling and that kind of stuff. But creativity is, creating a plan is creative. The methodology to what I do with my clients is the art and the journaling, so that they can get lost in not thinking about what they're making, creating, painting. And they're kind of like finger painting. You don't have to have skill to finger paint, right? So it surfaces the subconscious and it connects you to what you're really feeling and what you're really sensing. And I think that that's a really good mechanism to help somebody who's saying, okay, I'm really scared. I'm really scared to do this. And here's what's going on. And I'm lacking confidence. I will piggyback on what both Nancy and Nyla said, baby steps and a community. Both things are critical. I mean, if you are in your home trying to motivate yourself to do something that's very scary, it's harder. It's much, much harder. You can practice with your friends, like maybe it's a speech, maybe it's an interview. I don't know what exactly the letter writer is trying to sort the confidence area that they're working on. But I mean, they gotta listen to their inner voice and unpack it, find out what's going on. That's what
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I want to say, it's not, you started out by saying you don't mean to pitch. Part of what we're here for is to offer up solutions, and that just happens to be what you do. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's just a bit of lemonade being served up early. That's okay.
There we go.
Because I can look at each and every one of you and know how you can help someone in that area. And Nyla, I want to talk a little bit more too about what you mentioned. The organization piece is very important, but specifically for people who are dealing with, mental illness or certain issues. And I don't want to gloss over that, because that's powerful. People a lot of times suffer from depression or have things going on, which takes them out of character, which takes them away from what they would normally do. And if that's being organized and having, a good structured life. And now, me personally, I multitask and do a lot of things. And I've mentioned on the show before, when I'm depressed, I'm in bed all day. And that means I'm not going to do anything. And I do have those moments where I shut down. And I'm sure, Nancy, you have experienced that. And when you talk about fear, where you just kind of close in. So I think that all of us are going to, in some way, offer up something that the person that wrote that letter can glean from. And and that's perfectly fine. And whatever your products and services are, we'll have some information in descriptions and notes where people can reach out to you, because that's, you guys are experts. So very, very good.
I just wanted to make a point too, that, I think some of this, I know I do, I forget the part where that confidence usually shows up after the action, not before it. We talk about confidence like it's a prerequisite, but most of the time it's a byproduct. You don't feel ready, you act anyway, and confidence, it really does catch up later.
Yeah.
I forget that. I always forget that.
I think we all do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And another thing that comes to my mind, and something that I dealt with, was I just thought everything had to be perfect before I could do it. So therefore, if it wasn't perfect, then my confidence level was way down, because it had to be a certain way. And, and since then I've learned that, there's no thing that is perfect. And all I can do is work towards excellence. And so I had to change my mindset on that. And so, and speaking to the depression part, I lived with depression for, as long as I lived with my anxiety, until I was healed a little over a year ago. So depression, for me, people didn't know I was depressed, honestly. They had no idea. I went on with my life. I mean, I knew inside that I was dying, but I just kept on keeping on. And so, for each person, as Davina said, it is a little bit different. So yeah, but it affects each one of us differently. And when you deal with maybe fear, anxiety, depression, I have an acronym for it. I call it FADS. And for me, was fear, and my anxiety caused the depression because I stuffed all my emotions. So I came up with the acronym FADS for that. And that was my whole life, was stuffing my emotions and just putting on the mask, the mask of confidence that I didn't have. And just, realizing that I had a lot of work to do on myself. And once I started doing that, then the layers kind of started coming off. And the Lord started working on me. So, yeah.
Yeah, so you make me think about fake it till you make it. Yes. People used to say that all the time. You don't hear that as much now. But I remember when I was starting out, speaking of confidence, and Cammie would remember this because, again, she started with me, helping me with my business. And when I first started, I just really wanted so badly to be in that personal development space and help women. Like, I just wanted to do it. And I'm not one necessarily to shy away from a challenge, but I, like everyone else, I definitely struggled on the confidence bus, like just not good enough. And I think this in some way relates to the imposter syndrome of feeling like, I'm not the one. And then one day you wake up and realize that you were in the process of becoming the one. And that's what we're going to talk about, becoming also.
Yes.
Giving ourselves enough grace to make mistakes, to walk that walk until you no longer feel that way. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that? What do you feel like you were in a becoming stage at any point?
Um,
Yes,
Yes, I do. But what I realized, like everything for me is community. And the reason why is because like the woman who wrote the letter was saying, like, she stays in her head. When we're to ourselves and stay in our own head, things seem like impossible to get to where we need to be. And that's why I say, when you're talking to other people, sharing things that you usually don't, it's like when you come around. So I'll say, like, women who say, I don't have a lot of friends, I'm not around a lot of people. And when you start talking to them, they don't have a lot of confidence. And so the more and more you talk to them, or they come around you, and then you start seeing them speak different, act different. And there it is. We need each other. And so I wrote a book with a group of people called, when you said that, it reminded me of Doing It Scared. And it was maybe 10 of us with totally different stories, but how scared we were starting out. And it just goes to show we all are walking this same walk, and that we need to be here to support each other along the journey. We can't do it by ourselves. Right. And I mean, I've tried to do, certain things. I'm like, no. I have to, like, start talking to people, reaching out. And it's just funny when you start talking to someone, they have the solution. And you're like, what? Like, that's all I had to do.
Yeah. Divinely inspired.
Yeah. Yes.
Absolutely.
I'd like to piggyback on that if I can.
Sure.
So my own personal story. I was the shy girl. I hid behind my mama. I was that girl that was like, don't want to be introduced to anybody. By the time I got to junior high, my best friend, her name is Carrie, and she was a dynamo. I loved her. She was the person who walked in the room and was like, I'm here. She was my best friend, and we couldn't have been more different, right? Polar opposites. But being around her, to Nyla's point, being around her, I saw how she showed up into the room and how she really emulated fun. And I love fun. Who doesn't love fun? Right? So I was able to practice this whole, like, fun person. Right. And yeah, I was faking it till I make it, and totally face the fear and do it anyway. Right.
Yes.
So I just sort of like emulated her a lot. And through doing that repetitiously, I finally came into my own. I came into my own personality. I felt really good about being around people and being seen. Right. So shy is I don't want anybody to see me. And now I'm okay being seen for real. Right. And I wasn't trying to be somebody I wasn't. I was very confident about the person that I was. I was still mild-mannered and soft, like I always am. Everybody who knows me are like, you're really soft. You're not attention-seeking kind of a person, but I know how to have fun when I want to have fun.
Yeah.
So I do. I think, to Nyla's point, you need to surround yourself with some community where they have strengths that you might not have.
Right.
And then try to see how you can work it your way. And then that will help.
That makes sense why we connected.
Yeah.
and Melanie, positively Melanie. Yeah, the three of us are like crazy together, but you are
just a comment, like the community of girls that we hang out with, we're like coaches that kind of help each other and lift each other up all the time with our businesses and whatnot. And we meet for brunches, and we don't finish often until like 2, 3, 4 p.m. We talk and talk and talk, and we don't know how to leave.
Nyla, Nancy, you don't have to join us.
Might be all night then.
We have so much fun. But yeah. Community is huge. It's huge because we do need. I joke all the time at work. I'm an atta girl type of person. I need to get that. I mean, that's my love language. Tell me I'm doing well. I like that. I'm sure some therapist has a reason why I'm like that, but anyway.
Well, who doesn't, right?
I'm not ashamed of that. But what I will say is that it's like you wake up one day and you realize, hey, I'm not half bad. I'm doing a pretty good job.
Right.
You put the work in. You keep showing up. How many of you have been at this for years at what you do? Think about it.
Yes.
Time is a factor.
Yes.
Because I know each of you more than at least 10 years, right?
Right.
Yeah, or more.
10 years for me, Davina.
10 years, yeah. That's a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you think about the grind that you've been on, for lack of a better term, have you not grown in that process? Grown in confidence, grown in skill, grown in so many areas?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I look back at me in my first workshops. I look at some of the pictures. I look at some of the things. I'm actually pretty proud that I stuck it out.
Did, and I was at that first workshop of yours, Davina.
I know. You were. Tammy was.
Yes, I see the growth.
And actually, Nyla, we go back way
I think, I came to one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, but I years ago when we were trying something else.
Yes.
Always in the grind. And I just say that for our listeners to understand that it's not, you see, and I think the letter writer mentioned that, it's not what you see on Instagram or the social media or whatever. The work behind what it takes, to show up on social media, it's not even about that. It's not about that. I mean, yeah, we want to get the attention of potential clients, and we want the attention of people, but at the same time, it's the inner work. It's the inner work. Like Cammie said, it's the inside. And that's the part that so many people forsake and don't spend time on. They go right for the surface. And if you're not straight internally, your external world, what did I used to say? We see outward how we feel inward. And if you don't fix that, and if you can keep showing up, but if you lack confidence, you're going to stifle yourself. And I think that's the key. Keep trying, keep showing up, keep doing it. Be a part of a community. Absolutely. Boss B, were you going to say something?
No, I'm just apologizing for more interruptions, of course. I'm so thankful this is your show, my dear.
We're live, and that's what happens.
Yes, it is, and I apologize. I'm trying not to interrupt this wonderful conversation.
You are fine. You are fine.
Well, Davina, when you were talking about the inner work that we have to do, being the hardest work, and it is what most people neglect to do. Right. They don't want to look at that. It's too hard to look inward. It requires you to do something. So if you can just put on that mask and do it, fake it, that's just much easier. It's much easier to do that. And that's the life that I lived for a very long time. I believed the lie that nobody wanted to hear what was going on in my life, that nobody cared about that it meant nothing. And that truly, that was the lie. I needed to be vulnerable. I needed to let people hear what my life was about. And I didn't do that. That was a very long process for me. And probably not until I was in my late 40s, early 50s did I start, opening up. It was actually when I went to my first Toastmasters meeting. I had to start sharing things about myself and get vulnerable. And I truly believe that's where part of my healing started, with that inner part of me, and starting to say, it's okay. I'm okay. It's okay, Nancy. And it's okay to share about your life. And, I would always appreciate and just admire those people that could just share their heart on their sleeves. And I just couldn't do it. And I finally, late in life, was able to do that. And you see a whole new world open up for you when that starts to happen. And I saw where I was very limited in my friendships to I have many friends now. And, that was just work that I had to do. It was a constant work going on. And even those times when I was in depression and maybe I wasn't able to work like I wanted to on it, when I came out of it, I worked really hard, in those times that I was able to do it, when my mental state was good. And so, that inner work is hard. It's hard to take a look at what's truly going on the inside of you.
Right. And I think a lot of people just don't know how to start.
Right.
Where to start, where to begin. And there's a lot of different things that you can do. But it just first, and this is going to sound like like the AA meeting. First, you have to admit, step one, admit you have a problem. Step one, admit that you do need to do the inner work and accept that, and not,
And I think that's the problem, the admitting and being in isolation, being to yourself with your own thoughts. Back home, I used to do hair a lot, and people would come, never met them. And my youngest daughter, she would just sit and look, and people would tell me their whole lives stories. And she's like, when they leave, she'll say, why? She was like, you've never met them. And I'm like, I think because they feel okay sharing. I'm not judgmental. Like, I've heard all kinds of stories over years about people, but I always want people to be comfortable to have a safe space to share. I worked in a high school, and I used to work in an elementary school for 5 years. Then I ended up going to a high school, and I went there kicking and screaming. And it was only because my oldest daughter that was disabled, she was there, and my friend who cared for her moved out of state. And so I went there. They, had a position, and I went there. I loved it because the teens, they need us, and they would come, they would share all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, this is a bit much. And if you keep sharing, I'm going to have to, talk to your parents. And we lived in a small town. I knew some of their parents, but I think people just need that safe space, that person that listens and is not, making them feel bad about whatever it is. And so, and I think that's what I have learned over this journey of life, listening to people's stories and feeling like, man, if they going through this and this is where they are now, if they went through this and this confidence has built up, this was their life, like, I know I can do the things that, I need to do.
It's true. It's true. So for each of you, I have a question. Let's go back to what you do. And some of you have touched on it a little bit. How, with what you currently do in your purpose, how do you help others in terms of confidence? how do you think you serve and help others in terms of confidence? Authors. Oh yeah, go ahead, Cami. Yes.
It's echoing what I've already said, which is helping them to feel comfortable being seen, acknowledging that how their inner self is protecting them from negative things unnecessarily. Sometimes it's necessary, right? So it's discernment, right? So we got to really look at the facts. One of my favorite authors is Byron Katie, Loving What Is. Right? Is it really true? Right? So one of the phenomenons that I think everybody has experienced is we've done something brave. We've gotten a lot of accolades, a lot of that was fabulous, that was this, and one person will diss it, and we just hyper focus on that one negative person who said something bad. Acknowledge that you're responding to that and shift into really looking at all the positive things that were said, right? Look at it all.
That's good.
And don't like hyper focus on the one negative person or the one feedback that triggered something in you. Why did it trigger something in you? Let's unpack that. Let's figure out what the trigger is and work on maybe an antidote or something, right? So I just really think it's a lot of practice. Practice is what I keep underscoring so much. Practice and listening to the self.
Yes.
Yes.
That's really powerful. Yeah.
I like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Why do we focus on the negative? Why are we hyper fixating on the one negative piece of information? I almost feel like sometimes that's human nature, almost like with everything.
Protection, yeah.
What do they say in marketing? Something about how many messages, positive messages, do you have to compare to negative? Like you go 1 or 2 negative messages people will go with. I forget exactly how it says. I don't want to butcher it, but I know that it's like 7 or 8 times, or like several times you have to say something positive for people to receive it versus negative.
Yeah.
And not quite figured out why it's that way, but it makes me think about the messages that we hear in our minds, the things we say about ourselves or things we say to ourselves. Why, and that's why I like positive affirmations. And I know, Cami, we've talked about affirmations over the years. You have a different slant on it.
Yeah, I mean, do you want me to talk about that?
Yeah.
Affirmations, in my experience of them, I think they're good if you believe them. But if I am honest with myself, I will read an affirmation, and if I don't really soulfully feel it, it's lip service. It's not going to work, right? So I've got to do my work to get to the point to where the affirmation is totally sensed in all ways, right? I will feel it, and that's where my confidence comes from. Is I actually feel really good about myself, and I have since I was little. Even though I was shy, I still liked the person I was. I was just shy. I didn't want people to see me. That doesn't mean you're not confident. It just means I don't want you to see me, but I do like what I do. I do like who I am. Right? And it just took a while before I could declare that and claim that, right?
Yeah.
No affirmation would have been able to get me there until I believe it. That's how I affirmation.
Can I piggyback on that?
And then,
or Nyla, if you want to.
You could go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. I can attest to that because people would always come up to me and say, Nancy, God loves you. And I would say, I'm thinking in my mind, I know that. I'm getting a little irritated with it. Well, the issue in my mind, I knew that, but I didn't have it in my heart. And until that went from my mind to my heart, it meant nothing. It really didn't have any meaning to me. And even though I knew it in my mind, but people would continually remind me of that. And so, yeah, I would get a little irritated. And then also with the negative thought, the negative comment, I had the one negative comment in a Toastmasters, because they have to rate you at Toastmasters on your speech. And out of all the fabulous ones, there was one negative one. And what did that do? It kept me up all night.
Yep.
And I'm like, I had to have a really hard conversation with myself and say, really, Nancy, what are you getting so upset over this one comment? There was 25 others that were fabulous. Let's focus on that. But no, our mind goes to that one negative.
Yeah.
It's so interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Nyla, what were you going to say?
So I think, like, going back to the affirmations, when I look at some people that go to church and they go every week and they hear this beautiful message.
Yeah.
And it doesn't resonate with them. And I used to wonder, certain people, friends, family, and I'm like, what did you take away from that? And I think what it is, like saying what she was saying, as far as you have to do the work yourself before you can receive certain things like affirmations, a good word. And I'm like, because I love motivational speakers.
Yeah.
I like affirmations, but certain things, I listen to a lot of them, and some of them I'm like, yeah, I'm not there today. And this one is not working today. But then when I find one that is where I am that day, it's like, oh, okay, that did it for me. But I think it's because also I'm still doing some work and soul searching for myself. Yeah. And I feel like going into, as being a professional organizer, going into homes with people that even before they even say, because they will tell me, I have ADHD, I have anxiety, I have depression. And I could walk in and I'm like looking, or through our discovery call, the first time I talked to them. And so some people will say, I want this for my mom. My mom is a hoarder. And I'm like, oh, okay. Does mom want this for herself? Because she has to deal with all, everything that's under all of this unorganized stuff or the abundance of things. And so it's like, again, getting people to understand, like, you have to do the other work up under. And that's why I say, some people are like, oh, I just want beautiful beings. I want my house to look like a magazine. I want people to get to the root of why is it like this, of helping them from the inside. And then we get there.
That's good. Yeah. You're answering that question that we talked about. What is it that you do that contributes to confidence? That's you. I can't help but think about myself when you mention hoarding. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a hoarder.
You're not a hoarder. I've seen your house.
Right. And that's why I say, and it's sometimes when I haven't been to the house and they say that, people use that term so loosely. And I'm like, well, let me just come and see. And most of it, it's not that.
Oh, you're talking about a real hoarder.
Right. That's my, impression. What, I'm like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to get in the door. That's
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm one of those people, though. Even in my classroom, I have a hard time throwing pieces of paper away. Like in my mind, everything will. I'll need this again. I know I will.
Take a picture.
Take a picture.
Take a
Yep.
picture.
Me
That's cute.
Yeah. Yeah. So confidence. Our letter writer felt the need to reach out, and I want to make sure that we give her something substantial. What's one thing each of us can contribute to her in this season in her life, and either a piece of advice, some experience. What would you say directly to her right now? Because I'm sure she's going to see this. Anyone?
I'll go. So
Okay.
it's semi piggybacking on what we've already said. So I'm going to beat the dead horse about the practice. But when we talked about the negative stuff that comes up, there needs to be an acknowledgement and awareness that as a society, we are indoctrinated in what I say this all the time to my clients: pass, fail, right, wrong, black, white, right? We are totally systematized to get an A. And if you got a B, you were okay, all right. So you got a couple problems wrong. If you were struggling in school and you got a D or an F, you were made fun of.
Mm-hmm.
Your teachers pulled you aside, said, we need to get you work. If you had a tutor, it meant something's wrong with you, right? All these systematized things out in our world is totally reinforces you need to be just so, whatever that is, whatever fill in the blank is, right? That's what happens in my practice when I introduce somebody to creativity. They say, I'm not creative. And I'm like, that's a lie you're telling yourself. And I know the lie came from our world, our environment. And so I got to work with them to unpack that part first.
Right.
Right. So my advice is the acknowledgement and awareness that some of it is not your fault. Right. It's just automatically indoctrinated inside us. And that awareness will help you pivot away from, okay, that's not me talking. That's my conditioning. Right. So that makes sense.
That's so good, Cami. And there's so many reasons for all of that. I know you and I have done some work on deep identity. And what you make me think of is we all have a deep identity that, we came here born into, but then there's other aspects of our identity that we've taken on based on our environment and the people in our family are around us. And a lot of the voices in our heads come from those people. And what we've been told since we were young that we need to be, see, do, whatever. So that's powerful. And that's also something that we need to analyze as we're processing. Why do I feel the way I feel? Why, and back to Byron Katie, is this true? Is it really true? Am I really this, that, or the other? So thank you, Cami. That's really, really powerful. Who else has something to share?
I will. Just having her be gentle with herself to understand everybody goes through this. And again, community. But I think people are so hard on themselves and think they can't get to where it is. They see it, but they go back to old habits and patterns. So I think just giving herself some grace and digesting what's going on. So hopefully listening to this will really help her.
Absolutely. Give yourself some grace. That's beautiful. Yeah. Don't be so, because we're our own worst critics. We are so hard on ourselves and so difficult sometimes. And what we see or hear from ourselves is nothing like what people outside. Have you ever shocked when someone says, you did an amazing job? And you're like, no. You're thinking I do that all the time, even with all of my episodes with the podcast. If I sit and watch what I see, and what other people see is two different things. You know, Boss B is telling me, "Oh, what a great job on," you know, and I'm like, "But did you see?"
She
when I
never
forgot?
believes me.
Yeah, and I'm working on my confidence with that. But anyway,
Yeah.
so thank you for that, Nyla. So Nancy, what would you tell her?
Yes, I agree. She is not alone. She's in great company with, this confidence thing and fear of stepping out into her purpose. And the community will be great for her. She needs to step inside and take a look at what's going on inside. And her community can help her do that. And so, you have to start somewhere. And so, as all of us have said, there's some root causes going on that need to be taken a look at. And so the community that she surrounds herself with will help her in that. And then she can start working on that and take those little baby steps to get there.
Absolutely, absolutely. And when we talk about community, just to pause for a moment and be clear on that too, we all have different types of tribes and communities that we kick it with. Some of us are big on going to church, and so you have that community. Some people have communities within their day jobs, their colleagues, co-workers that they also do things with. We even have apps, the neighborhood app, Alignable. Well, Alignable is more B2B, isn't it? But like I think it's neighborhood. There's you can create a group, you can create a community. If you don't have one, you can create one now. And there's so many online support group. Facebook is full of them. Like honestly, you can find your tribe somewhere. But you do have to be confident enough to do that, to step out and be open to meeting new people. So that's important that we not limit ourselves in terms of the thought of what does that look like? What is community, right? Yep. Dee, what would you say to her?
Well, quite frankly, I think I would first say the first step doesn't have to be loud or public. Purpose, it doesn't always start with a leap. Sometimes it starts with a quiet decision no one else sees. Small steps still count a forward motion. Plain and simple. That's what I'd have to give.
That's good. Yes. And my thoughts on it is to, and this isn't going to surprise anybody that knows me, take the mask off. Be authentic. Don't be afraid to just be you. Don't be afraid to walk into a room and not change for others, or be in any environment where you feel you have to measure up or you have to become something that you're not. I think a lot of times the whole notion of confidence or lack of confidence has to do with trying to be or do something that doesn't fit for you.
Right.
Take a deep breath, be you. Whether that's loud, whether that's quiet, shy, out there, whatever it is, be you. Because if you are able to be comfortable being yourself, you're going to breathe so much easier. You're going to accomplish so much more. And you're also going to attract the right people that are for you. Because not everybody is for you.
Right.
I think a lot of times people stress about something that has nothing to do with them. It took me a long time to figure that out. When we were young, we were in school and you wanted to be friends. You see this girl group or this whatever, this clique, that clique. And if you imagined yourself in any, you wanted to be a part of something, a lot of times it doesn't cross people's minds to just do you and see who joins you. I don't have to look across the room and be a part of that. When I got me, I can, and there's somebody that's going to come hang with me. And I think as adults, it's the same way. Take off the mask, be authentic.
And I think that's why I like working with children with disabilities. I like that they are so genuine, that they are themselves.
Right. Right. They don't have to be pretentious. They
No,
don't care.
Yeah.
no, they don't.
It's so good. That is so true.
Mhm.
Anyone else? We've hit the hour mark. This has been a great discussion, one that I think could go for a while. And
Yes.
ladies, as we close out to our listeners, please don't leave. Stay on. We will have a quick wrap up backstage. But honestly, this is a great discussion, and I think women all over the world could benefit from this.
Yeah.
Not just the person who wrote the letter, because we all know, as we all raised our hands in the beginning of this, we all have the same experience, and if or in the process of it.
Mhm.
And the last thing I want to say about that too is that confidence is not oh, I've achieved it. It's just not. It's just not. So if you're looking to achieve it, forget it. It's an ongoing. It's more about becoming. And I think we talked about that. We're always becoming. We're always growing,
Right.
stretching. And let's have some fun while doing it.
Yes.
Let's enjoy life. Let's be okay with making mistakes. Let's be okay with failing.
Mm.
Because in the process of failing, there's so much growth in getting up. So you want to add anything, B, before we close it off?
Yeah, I would like to just give a little shout out over to the whole universe. Before we wrap up tonight, I want to take a quick moment just to highlight some things that are a little bit important. So,
Awesome.
Boss Man's a happy man.
Yeah.
So the Ladies' Diary is a part of a much larger collective. I think we kind of know all that now, but the Iron Sharpening Iron universe, where different shows, voices, combination, or conversations all come together with one shared goal: growth through honest dialogue. And, each show brings its own perspective, its own rhythm, and its own purpose. And together they create something bigger than any one conversation, right? Mama Lions, Big Jack, we are out here working our tails off for every single person that we can reach. And I'll tell you, as does the entire universe. I say it often. I am just one galaxy in this universe, and I couldn't imagine being anywhere else. We encourage anyone to come join us. And ladies, thank you so much. This has been an amazing night. I feel blessed just being in the room, or in the chat room with all of you. This was amazing. I'm even going to apologize for my tardiness, but as I close this out, I just want to thank every single one of you that showed up, everyone on the panel, especially everyone in the chat room. Conversations like this don't happen by accident. They happen because people are willing to be present, to listen, and to speak from real experience. And ladies, I know that our letter writer tonight is going to find some really good information out of all of this. So thank you so much. Thank you so very much.
Absolutely.
Sis,
Absolutely.
another show.
Yes.
There we go,
Yes.
honey. We did
Yes,
this.
yes,
All
yes.
right.
Well, you're going to see more. Cammie's coming up. She's going to be on the Coach's Corner on the 25th of this month.
Right.
Nyla has been on, so I need listeners, go out and find the episodes with Nyla. Nancy has been on. Find our episodes on my YouTube, on Boss Bees, and or Big Jack Storytime. So yeah, and the universe is ever expanding. I want to thank all of our listeners. As Boss Bee said, we appreciate you showing up. Please like, please share, and spread the word. And then you'll see these ladies more, I'm sure. So thank you all. All right. B, take us out.
One two tiny thoughts. Walt, thank you. You were being a good boy. Aquafunk, no, sir. No, sir. He says I would have to give great advice too. That might be your wife back there, buddy. All right.
I want to thank all the people in the chat. That's right.
Right.
Y'all hang back for me for just a minute. I'm going to close this out. Thank you, ladies.
All right.
Thanks.
you.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.